our guy Croc was talking about um, Kyle Shanahan not taking advantage of Hurts secondaries. And he said, hey, their whole secondary is hurt. Let's attack the guy with a bad foot, or the elements are bad. Let's test them deep. And he said the answer remains no. He was on two Colts podcasts this week, and each Colts host talked about how terrible Xavier Rhodes has been this season. And that was without the injury he suffered in the pregame warmups. He was hurt. The 49ers still didn't attack him. If they go single high, you check into a go route. You got to test it out. That was infuriating. The whole talk before the game from Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels was they can't even believe Xavier Rhodes is in this game. He looked like he was going to be, carried out to the sidelines.
I mean, all due respect to Croc, but he should know better. It don't matter if they're in single high or not. They ain't running no damn go routes with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. That's just not happening, dude.
Yeah,
And then
that's
when
the
Jimmy
problem.
Jimmy does throw outside the numbers to Debo, and Debo's stationary because it's like a fucking out route, right? It's behind Debo and it deflects off of Debo, and Xavier Rhodes picks it anyway. So even when they're trying to pick on somebody, they can't even get that right. So I don't want to hear about no. If you had a real see, you can do that stuff when you have a real quarterback. I don't think it's Kyle being necessarily unable to pick on somebody and sticking to his game plan. I think it's that Kyle is just like, well, I can't because my quarterback sucks. Which makes it all the more frustrating that he goes, oh, I would guess Jimmy's my quarterback. I got to watch the tape, but yeah, I don't see why not. Like that can't possibly be the best quarterback play you can get.
To me, that screams absolutely not, but I'm not 100% sure Trey Lance will be back next week. So I'm going to say, yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, if he was emphatically saying yes, he would say yes, but that's not what he said. So I know I'm reading into shit here, but just bear with me, guys. It's been a tough night. Matt Humfat says, I don't want to see Jimmy play again, honestly.
Neither
do you
do
think we
I.
do, Matt, even if Lance is healthy?
Probably.
Really? Okay. So you still think they stick with him?
I think he's going to start against the Bears.
Which would be such a horrible decision.
Jimmy's going to get an extra week off of that 3-play drive and because of the wet weather. Kyle's going to come out on Tuesday and be like, well, I looked at the tape and it wasn't a great game, but, you got to factor in the weather and all this stuff. And, I just feel like Jimmy didn't get to put his best foot forward. And I feel confident that Jimmy still gives us the best chance to win. Trey's coming off an injury and he's not, we don't know if he's going to be ready to go. So we have to let it rock with Jimmy because he's going to get the most reps in practice this week and blah, 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 blah. That's how that's going to go. We all know how that's going to go.
I agree, and if anything, he'll probably say we're looking to incorporate Trey Lance more,
right,
in this game plan. But no, we're sticking with Jimmy. He's experienced. It's a bunch of BS, honestly, and we're all sick of it. Everybody's grown sick of it. Regardless on if he's going to have his rookie moments, that needs to start happening if you want any shot of even being competitive next season.
Right.
Jimmy will get pulled at halftime. That's what Steve says. If he
and
starts
you want
next
the
week.
struggles. You don't want a quarterback to be too good too early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you want him to struggle. I mean, honestly, listen, we're sitting here in 2021, and who would have thought that Josh Allen is definitively better than Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes looks like not good. Not good. He plays too loose. He scrambles around behind the line of scrimmage like a chicken with his head cut off, and he takes a lot of risks, and his luck is running out. And he got away with that stuff during his MVP season, and he was too good too early and didn't get a chance to develop the right habits and the right way to do things. And when you look at Josh Allen, who struggled early and had to learn, man, I can't just rely on my physical gifts. I have to learn how to play the position. As opposed to Mahomes, who comes in and is like, no, I'm just physically better than everybody and I can make things happen. And now that luck is running out, he has no idea what he's actually supposed to do in terms of reading a defense or going through his progressions or even making the smart football play. And sometimes just like, hey, I don't have to scramble around like a weirdo and try to make things happen all the time. Sometimes you just need to, hey, maybe I'm going to, instead of, scrambling around crazily and maybe throwing a pick or something like that, maybe instead of doing that, I know that I'm going to be sacked. So let me fall towards the line of scrimmage so that instead of like a 10-yard sack, it's like a 2-yard sack. And we're still in position on second and third down. But I don't see that out of Mahomes. I see him turn his back to the line of scrimmage and run around like a 5-year-old on a playground and try to heave a ball where, Kyler Murray does the same thing, and Kyler
Yep.
Murray's going to get away with it too. Not forever, but he's going to be bailed out. There was a throw today that he made to DeAndre Hopkins where it's like, if it's anybody other than Hopkins, that's not a completion. And we don't want Trey to play like that. I'd rather that Trey learns how to play the position like Josh Allen, who is a very athletic quarterback, but also when you watch him, stays within himself and tries not to do too much. And that's what I want to see.
Yep.
So to me, you got to get Trey out there and have him take his lumps so that he can learn, hey, these are the things that are going to mitigate issues. When you have a lot of issues in your face, you become a pretty good problem solver, right? But when things come too easily for you, I mean, because if we're kicking the can down the road to next year, who's to say he's not going to have the same issues next year? And then what do? You've wasted development. And again, this is now a 2-4 team through 7 weeks going into a stretch of the schedule that's, the Bears might be beatable, but I don't think they're going to get anything from the Cardinals or the Rams, who are just far and away better teams. So what are we doing at this point?